The power is on, and welcome to my first podcast of M's comic book reviews. Today I am reviewing Godzilla vs. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2, issue number 1. This issue starts off with the White Ranger fighting alien monsters. He starts realizing that where he is at, and it is not his universe. The White Ranger ends up summoning his Tigerzord due to these alien monsters. And then, of course, the legend, the badass Godzilla appears out of nowhere. And the White Ranger has no idea that Godzilla is not a part of Rita Repulsa's plan or team. So we end up seeing the Tigerzord and Godzilla battling. The White Ranger ends up having the multiversal focus stone and he travels to a different dimension using that stone. To not get further into it with Godzilla, which, I mean, come on, who would? Godzilla is massively, insanely strong. The guy has atomic breath, a nuclear pulse. Come on, no one's gonna, I wouldn't want to fight him. So the White Ranger ends up in a different universe that looks like his. He ends up meeting the Power Rangers from the first series, the Power Rangers from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 1993 TV show. So the White Ranger is telling these Power Rangers that Rita is going from universe to universe and taking out the Power Rangers in those universes, capturing them and even going as far as stealing their powers. He also tells the Rangers how his team was captured by Rita. Soon after that, we see Godzilla and Rita Repulsa's alien monsters appear into the universe where the White Ranger, Zordon, and the original Power Rangers are. Next, we see Rita and Astronema butting heads as they work together. Astronema has her Psycho Rangers. Rita is pretty impressed, but has her own monster that she is ready to unleash, which is her version of Monster Zero, also known as King Ghidorah. So Rita's monster, called Psycho Ranger Ghidorah, ends up saying he can't wait to siphon Godzilla's powers to destroy everyone. And then we are left with a cliffhanger. So that's the end of issue 1 of Godzilla vs. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2. I loved this issue. I really do. It left me wanting more. I want to see the progression of the Psycho Rangers, Ghidorah, and the Psycho Rangers. Also, enjoy that we have original villains from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TV show appear in this book. We have Rita Repulsa, we have Astronema. If you didn't know, Astronema was the main antagonist in Power Rangers Lost in Space TV show. It's just great that they really added her into this book. I love that Rita and Astronema are working together, or at least trying their best to work together, as you could see in this issue. Rita Repulsa has been one of my favorite Power Ranger villains. She's wonderful. I know that's probably not, there's so many villains, but she always stood out to me. I loved her outfit. She has a wonderful laugh. She's just, she's awesome, and power to the woman. But I always love that she always overestimates her abilities in fighting the Power Rangers, and that was always really fun. Changing to a different topic, though, I heard or read something a few years ago that just popped in my head that this wasn't the first time the Power Rangers and Godzilla appeared together. Apparently, they had a Children's Day stage show in 1966 called Hero Fest that had Godzilla, the Power Rangers, and even the Ultra Brothers, which is really cool. I definitely have to look more into that and get more information on that, because that sounds really awesome. Moving over to the art style in this issue is great. It's phenomenal. I really like it. It looked like the Rangers seemed bulkier in the first book. I didn't read the first book, but I've seen pictures of it, and they just look bulkier in that book than they do in this one. And I'm more old school in the original Power Rangers look, the more slimmer, not as bulkier look. I'm just stuck on the original look of the Power Rangers, but I'm glad they don't seem as just overly muscular in this book. It also, to me, had a tiny bit of an anime style type look. Sometimes when Rita would be yelling, or I don't know, just like, yeah, yelling, screaming, or just she just had this facial expression that was more anime-ish, that to me, which isn't a bad thing at all. It just reminded me of that, just a little bit. Godzilla's look reminded me a little bit, the art reminded me of Andrew McLean's War for Humanity's Godzilla. Not the art, I guess, is the style. The style of both of these Godzillas look similar, and I really like that. I loved this style of Godzilla. Andrew McLean's War for Humanity's Godzilla was more of a graffiti type style, and oh man, that was a great art. I love that. But this one, Godzilla, definitely looks like that Godzilla. It's really cool. You should look into that. In this issue, I'm also very curious. It brought to my attention that the writer never mentions this White Ranger's name. We don't even see the White Ranger with his mask off. So we don't know if it's Tommy Oliver. We could only assume that it's Tommy Oliver because it is the White Ranger. So I really like that, you know, we're kind of guessing a little bit. We're not sure. It could be a surprise. Maybe it's somebody completely different. We're not sure. This is multiverse. You know, we're going into different dimensions, so it could be anybody. But overall, Cullen Bunn's story is amazing. He is such a great writer, phenomenal writer. He's written Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. He's written Night of the Living Deadpool and many, many more. If you haven't read his stuff, go check it out. If you have, go check it out again. But that is the review. A few thoughts that I have on Godzilla vs. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Check it out. So my fellow nerds, it's Morphin time for this podcast. I will be back Sunday. Stay tuned.